Cool. So that was the last thing I wanted to address before we jump into community highlights. I'm gonna reiterate some of these things during Q&A, and then during Q&A, you guys are probably gonna ask me a bunch of questions that you want to address with Update 4 in specific. So we'll get to that. I'll also talk a little bit about Update 5 maybe after community highlights. But let's jump into community highlights because I just kind of want to like do it so I can get nitty gritty and talk to you guys about Update 4. Cool. So community highlights. Let me switch to that scene because I have one and it's gonna work this time. Bam! Ha ha! Yes! First try! Oh, we did it! Oh, I'm so... It worked on first try this time. I don't know why I got so excited for that. Oh, poggers! Poggers, holy shit. Anyway, welcome to community highlights. This is like the first time the scene is booted up on the first try. Holy shit. Alright, you take the small victories, okay? Anyway. There was so many submissions this week to community highlights. I'm super happy to see it. I actually was like, there was too many. Like, holy shit, so much. So let's dive straight into it. First up, we have from one of our regulars here at community highlights, I'd say Alex88FR, who's been experimenting with. Alex makes really clean builds. I just like their setups. That's awesome. And here's an inside one. I specifically asked for like light setups last week and you guys delivered. So very clean, always makes very clean setups. Very, very good. Next up we have from AnotherPhilosopher, who's I love this building. It's so good. It really I don't know what they're producing. Oh, it's coal. Wait, no, it's a refinery. Can't tell, but I love it. How bad are the lights in performance? The lights are very performant because they're not actually lights. We're probably gonna talk more about how the lights work in the future because they're actually kind of magic. The implementation of them. They're not actually lights. They're kind of like they're kind of like I can't really like talk too much about it because I haven't fully read up on it. I only know like kind of how they work, but I'm hoping we can make like a video or maybe have Ben on the stream or something like that, talk about that at some point, because it's really interesting. It's really interesting. I think you guys will find it interesting as well. The lights are a lie. Like we would not have been able to make it as like performant if we wouldn't have done it the way they're implemented. They're holes in the sky. Yeah, exactly. So we'll talk more about that eventually. So anyway, love you, another philosopher. Thanks for your submission. Next up we got from aphaits. It's made like a Cthulhu-esque setup. I love this, by the way. It's very Cthulhu. It's very like what's it? H.R. Geiger? No wait, Giger. I love it. It's very nice. Here's another angle of it. I'm digging it. Very alien-esque. Beautiful. H.P. Lovecraft. It's like a combination of like Lovecraft and Giger. So next up we have from Araldon, who's built a very nice like setup here with a tower or something like that next to a ravine. This is such a good spot, by the way, to build factories because this spot is OP as hell. This is like, it's got like 4 pure iron nodes. I think that limestone one is normal, I think, but or maybe it's pure actually. But it's dope. And then it's like 2 another pure coppers behind that. Yeah, it looks great. I love it. Yeah, you can see the miners there in the corner. 2 copper, 2 quartz. Yeah, there's quartz as well, like behind, like where the coffee cup is, or like down there. There's like another ravine there. Pretty dope. Pretty great. Just did my base there. This is where you want to build your starter base. If you just want like pureness, then this is the place. It's the like corner of northern forest in the ravine. There's like a ravine that goes all the way across. Anyways, lovely Araldon. I love it. Nice, like it reminded me of the Justice Hall in Justice League, but more efficient. All right, next up, we got from BlightBorn, who's this sick ass train setup. This is something I struggle with when I build train tracks. It's really difficult, I find, to like make nice looking, you know, the tracks themselves. Like it's easy to set up like good sick ass train setup. It's nice to set up like train stations and you know, combine like that with your base and all that stuff. But whenever I build like train tracks themselves, I always have a hard time like figuring out nice ways to have them like run throughout the world and you know, make sense. You play the game? Hell yeah, I do. I've played the game too much. I need therapy for the game after we did when we worked on the trailer footage. I spent, I think like 90% of my time was just building stuff in the game so that we could capture trailer footage. Yeah, it got really bad. Like I need therapy now. But yeah, like whenever I build train tracks, I always have a hard time getting them to look good in the environment, because you're slapping down a huge fucking railroad, right? And it's hard to like make it match the environment. But I think fucking BlightBorn absolutely nailed it here. This looks amazing. They've even done the thing where like they turn the foundations to have them like less obtrusive, which it's a nice touch. I love it. Very nicely done. And next, speaking of trains, FAaBbiii or FAaBbiii, I don't know how you pronounce that. Is this like crafting bench / workshop / MAM / MA awesome shop on rails. I love it. Really nice. I don't know how they've done this, if this is using mods or if this is like the save editor or something like that. It's a commercial train, but it looks cool. I don't know if this also works if it's like when it's moving or if they're just like hovering there, but I like it. It makes for a nice picture. It makes for a good talking point. You know, this is something you bring up when you go to a party and you don't know what to start talking about. You just bring up your phone and show this picture and like, wow, look at that. That's really cool. That's from Satisfactory, right? And they know everything about the game. Anyway, so thank you much for that. Next up, we have Fireblade, and if you've been here on the community highlights before, you probably know why this is here, because I picked them. Okay, I really dig these like kind of oil rig setups. They always look super clean and super nice, even though, you know, oil refineries aren't, you know, clean by themselves. But it's really cool. It's really cool setup. The pipe setup is also awesome. I love the like tank reserve thing that's going on to the right there. Really cool. And then the pipe coming in from the side. I love it. I love it. All right. Next up, we have from Holfie. Another picture. You also, if you've been here before, you also know why I picked these, because I think these are hilarious as well. I haven't had a tick show up in your base post on the community highlights in a long time, but it's back. Oh, so happy. It just made its home there. The tick doesn't give a shit, okay? It just like shows up and just like, all right, I'll live here now. You know, when Jay sees like a cool factory, he always goes like, I want to live there. But the tick literally like, no, I'm gonna live there. Like it doesn't give a shit. So power move for sure. This next up is I love this next one. It's from hooloovooblu. Also featured a bunch of times on the community highlights, but they wrote a script to take all the buildings and just like fucking mash them together. And yeah, they succeeded. This looks super cool. It's actually functional as well, if I understood it correctly. It reminds me of katamari, damacy. King of Cosmos is very pleased with this. So we need to fucking who made katamari? Is it Konami or is it like one of the small ones? We need to join forces. Josh would be proud. Holy shit, Josh wish he was this chaotic. And speaking of hooloovooblu, they also brought back something that maybe you OG Satisfactory people will get this reference here. This is a classic meme in the Satisfactory community. dates way back. Namco, okay, thanks. Dates way back to the early days of Satisfactory. So I'm not gonna explain this too much. If those who get it, you get it. All right. Next up, we have from Jace. Who would have thought? Not me. I posted on Twitter a while ago that you don't need signs anymore, guys. We've solved it. You can just use power switches. Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with the guy, but he clearly needs some therapy. I'm sorry, Jace. I love you. So yeah, this is Jace just want to demonstrate to you guys that you can totally use power switches as signs. This is a lesson, okay? Some therapy. Hey, I need it too, okay? Also pooping right now, how fitting. Yeah, this is the difference between my butt and Jace's butt, is that mine like sucks and Jace's pushes. All right, we're gonna move on now, okay? Next up is from Purple Rocket, who's, I've seen this before a couple of times, but it still blows my mind every time I see it. Making a power storage out of power storages, so a huge ass battery. Love it, very nicely done. There's actually, it's funny, this design is like becoming a thing, and I love it. There's actually like 4 or 5 different images that I was kind of picking between for the Satisfactory screenshots this week with this like setup with the battery style. But this one was my favorite because it even had like the Fix-It logo on it. So very nice, very nicely done, Purple Rocket. You did it. You pull through. Next up is from splitmindsthinkalike, who's got a 80s style like color scheme here. I love this setup here, right here. This is amazing. Very bright. They've even got like the colors, I think from the lights as well, to match it. Very nice setup. It's very pleasing to the eye. It looks like pixel art. It does, totally. It looks super cool. Albeit, I can see some mods down there, so I'll only give them some compliments. No, it looks amazing. Thank you so much for the submission. Let's see here. Next up, we have some trivia, or not trivia, but like some sick information to you guys. If you didn't know how glow lights were made, this is how they were made. So this is an unforaged glow light in its natural habitat. So you won't see this on Did You Know? Or whatever that show is called. How it's made. This is how you make glow sticks, okay? Glowing glizzies. Hannah also wants to extend a comment about this. Ignore this. So we're gonna move on. So if you remember last week, TNT Cruiser also made a geothermal generator plant that was made before update 4. And we mentioned during the stream, like, oh, this is probably going to break or whatever during update 4 because now the geothermal generators work a little bit differently. And I was like, but if you slap some power storages in there, it's going to probably work fine. And they did. They slapped some power storages. They updated with lights. This is... I should have done like a before and after in retrospect. But here we are. So what you going to do about it? And I think this is the last set. I think I went one more after this. But another thing that I forgot to mention during the state of dev is there's a issue with the Steam patching system or something, where when you download patches to Satisfactory on Steam, mostly on Steam, it can happen on Epic too, but it's been happening very occurrently on Steam, where you'll get graphical glitches like this. Very odd. And if you run into these kind of issues, make sure to verify your game files. You might even need to reinstall the game. But yeah, kids, remember to verify your game files. And if you see people having glitches like this that you haven't experienced yourself, please help share the knowledge. Share the knowledge that verifying game files will solve this issue in like 9 out of 10 times. Because it's very common in our community right now that people are getting these glitches. Today, I think I even saw like where some of the materials were just black Same thing there. Like you need to run a verify. Looks like the GPU is saying bye-bye. Kinda. I mean, it could also be the GPU is singing its last verse. Man, that's so much more. I thought we were done, but there's more. Vigo von Homburg. I don't know. This is clean. I like it. Very, very calm. It makes me calm, and it makes me remember that we're all human, and we're trying our best here. It's a really nice picture of the moon, one of the moons. What does the verifying do, Loki? So the verify like goes through every single file in the install directory and matches it to the directory on Steam, and checks like, is this file correct? It does like a checksum, if you guys know what that is. It essentially runs a checksum on every single file. And if it notices like the files locally on your machine doesn't match the thing that you're supposed to have, then it will re-download that file for you. And so essentially, like, when you're downloading the patch, it only downloads like a part of it, and then it like tries to install it on the rest. But sometimes what's going wrong is like it's not getting the full patch or something like that for everyone. So that's why running a verify can solve that, because then it actually checks every single file and be like, this file is incorrect. It should be this thing, and that solves a lot of the issues that we're having. But very nice picture, Vigo. Thank you so much for that. Next up, we have from Warazat. Who's got a clingy explorer. This is one of those like cat posters, you know, where like hang in there. This is that. I love it. This could also be the Mufasa meme. Long live the king. If you just add another explorer on top of that, we'd be set. Me crawling out of bed in the morning. Yeah, we've all been there. Hang in there. Okay, last one is from Zippy, who's got this another sick ass train setup with the in the big forest. I can't remember the name of that area, green forest or whatever, but really nice, pleasing for the eyes. I love the train track. This is also a nice composition for the picture. Very nice indeed. Very nice. Yeah, trains confirmed in Valheim. Yeah, go bug them. Tell them that they need trains in the game. So that was the last picture. Thank you so much for everyone who submitted to our community highlights. If you want your stuff to be highlighted here, make sure to use the hashtag Satisfactory screenshots on Twitter when you post it on Twitter, or use the screenshots flare on Reddit. Very, very self-explanatory. Titan Forest, thanks so much. That's what it's called. I remember now. And every week we always do a highlight of one of the content creators that we have in our community. And this week we're gonna highlight ItsBitz, who's here. I saw you, so I know you're here. ItsBitz is one of the very lovely people who stream our game very often, very regularly. Bitz also got a YouTube channel that we're gonna check out. Hopefully this works on first try as well. So we're gonna check out the video really quickly.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Satisfactory episode, where last time we got our tiny little concrete facility up and running, and we also got our copper sheets up and running, and more importantly, we got our 6 coal generators up and running to automate power throughout the factory. But we don't just have 6, we now have 12, because if you remember, at the end of last episode, I did say I was going to duplicate what we have next to it. So we're making quite a bit of power. Well, I say quite a bit, but 900 megawatts for where we are right now is actually pretty decent. But in today's episode, we're going to do a little...
That thing broke. All right, close to a perfect stream, you guys. We fucking jinxed it, but we were super close. If you want to know what's gonna happen, you're gonna have to go to the YouTube channel and check out Bitz. So if you use exclamation mark, what is it? CC highlight, I think. Yeah, cool. So you can check out their YouTube channel. Bitz also streams on Twitch. I also have a clip from that. So if you want to check out Bitz on Twitch, you can do that as well. Here's a little preview.
I got Zoop. You want some soup? You want some soup? You want some soup? You want some tomato soup? You want some tomato soup?
So if you wanted tomato soup, you have to go to Bits. I'm so sorry I picked that clip, but I just had to, dude. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay. Whew. I'm like, I couldn't hold it in when I was watching that. I had to mute myself. So yeah, check out Bits. Awesome streamer, awesome content creator. Check him out. Cool. We did it, you guys. We did another community highlights.